Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Safa. Today I'm going to be doing something very different for the first time, as you could probably tell because I've never done this video before, and that is reading journaling. This is the first time I'm doing it. I've always been someone who just lacked the motivation and consistency to really keep up with journaling, because I find that most people who do it, they're always on top of their game, always filling out their journals to the best of their abilities, look so pretty, and I just never felt like I fit in to that genre. But, my imposter syndrome has been clearly wearing off a bit, so I thought I'd try my hand at reading journaling, because it's fun, it's creative, artistic, and what a better way to get on brand with my channel's name, Crafty Reads, than reading journaling. Also because I think it's a fun and creative way just to really express and jot down your thoughts and feelings on the books I read in a fun visual format. So what I'm doing first here is just a general title page with 2023 is the little banner, and then small little doodles like leaves and like little dash marks, just because, I like the color green and I like using my Sakura pens. So this is the Micron 0.01 pen, and I also use the 0.03 and 0.05 pens as well. So now starting the second pages of my little journal. So in this video, I think I only stuck with doing 3 just because, it's not a lot to film, and it's, easy on me too. Because honestly, filming and reading journaling at the same time, it's quite difficult, especially when you don't have a proper tripod that can really hold your camera. It's honestly quite a struggle for us newbies. But here we go. So for this spread, I'm doing my Goodreads tracker. And so for this year, I decided to, do square boxes that number all the way to my goal, which is about 60 books for the year. Now, previously, I read a total of 53 books, which honestly, it's incredible. I even made it to 50, just because my actual goal last year was 35, and I well surpassed that. So I was beyond excited and thrilled. And I believed, what, if I could make it to 50, why not up it to 60 books this year? And I know I'm more than capable of reading a lot of books. It's just, am I motivated enough to read it? So I think setting a realistic goal is good. Nothing too outrageous, like 100 books, knowing I won't even get close to it, but 60 I think is reasonable for me. So what I like about this Goodreads tracker spread in general is that with every book I read during the year, I can just fill in the little square box, and by the end of the year I can track, how many of the books I did read by the end. Now, as you see, I did mark it all the way to 72 books, and that's simply because leaving it at 60 made the page feel very empty, so I filled out more boxes just for the heck of it. And you never know, I could actually surpass my goal, and that would be absolutely amazing. So the other side, I decided to create another tracker of sorts, and that's my daily reading tracker. Now for this one in particular, this is just me recording how many days out of the year within each month am I actually reading. And I don't count Wattpad fanfiction in this, just because, everyone reads it. If that were the case, I would be reading every day, and all you would see is a big block of green. But I decided to do, actual book reading that I do in this fun little format. And so I basically record it based on the month and how many days are in each month. So it's kind of funny when I look back at it, just because at this moment I'm doing a lot of doodles and just like kind of trying to cover up all these blank spaces in my journal by doing, small little objects like books, like letters, like, leaves, things like this. And what you see is that if you keep up with my reading vlogs later on, is that I ended up changing up some of these pages just because I finally did get some washi tape a little too late after filming this, so I decided to add some more washi tape to this. But overall, the general layout still looks the exact same. I just didn't want to record it a third time, just because it's a long process, but I feel like it gives you a good idea of what mine looks like. I think what's interesting is that a lot of people will notice is that I'm not actually using a brand new bullet journal, just because I had one on hand from many years ago that I've never touched, and it's more than like 75% empty. So I was like, instead of buying a brand new one and spending $50, I just use the same one and, jazz it up with some new supplies. That'd be fun. Now let's get into the third and final set of pages. And so in this section, I'm going to be doing books that I DNF'd during this year. And last year, I do remember doing quite a bit of DNFing. I've really got into the habit of it. I think it's a good thing to really lean on sometimes, just because if you're not in the mood to read, you shouldn't really force yourself to. But I think a lot of the stigma that comes with DNFing is that the books aren't just worth it at all, they're really bad. But I think with DNFing, it also comes down to, putting a pause to the book you're reading and possibly coming back to it later. It doesn't mean it's a bad book, it just doesn't mean it's right for you or right at the time that you're reading it. So I'm just doing a simple spread with, a bunch of lines that I can fill out and write down the general titles and the author name of the books that I DNF. Spread of my journal, I decided to do a best books of the year spread where I have 12 rectangular boxes for each of the months that I read, and for each month I'm going to be choosing one book that I felt was the best book of that month, and whether it's 5 stars or not, and post a picture of them in each of the boxes and just have a visual representation of my favorite books of the year. I think it would be easier to narrow down my top reads afterwards. Now, this spread isn't necessarily going to be my best books of the year. I think it's just more of a representation of the best books of the month, just because some could be better than others. So thank you so much for watching for my first bullet journal video. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I inspired some of you to start your own bullet journal, because if I can do it any of you can do it. Thanks for watching.